So, welcome everyone to this technical talk on industrial internship for engineering students. And this is going to be your host. My name is Rajkumar Rajshekharan. I work as a senior applications engineer at VA Solutions Bangalore. And to tell more about our company, okay, VA Solutions is a test and automation company, okay, which is focused on many domains like aerospace, automotive, automation, semiconductor would keep on adding more stuff, and we support our partners and our industrial clients in developing test and measurement applications for them to work with, right? So basically implement automation in electronics, electrical, and several other aspects. Okay, it could be in any domain, okay, using a particular technology. But what are the technologies which work on? Okay, so how we implement those things are the ones which we are going to speak about today. So today it's going to be about technical talk on, and to enable you to learn about the things which we do in industry and day-to-day of our, work environment. So that's what we're going to see today. So what's the agenda and the scope of today's, technical talk? So that is very clearly we have mentioned that it's going to show an insight on our industrial internship program which we offer to many universities around around India and overseas, and how it's benefiting them, and what the agenda and scope of the same. So to give a explanation about that, we are going to see about what are the cutting edge technologies which is working in today's industry, and what does today's industry expect from its next generation of workforce. So the next generation of workforce, in the sense you are the next generation of workforce who's going to help the industry in implementing and developing their application, as well as the product which they are working on. So the product will not automatically come out of in thin air. Someone has to develop it further. So that's going to be the next generation of workforce, right? So that's what we're going to see. What is it next, thing which, no, not next, okay, currently what is the the burning topic and burning technology which is being used in industry, and how does it affect the career? Okay, how it's going to help in one's career when we know about this technology? How is it going to help us, and which companies, okay, use this technology? So that's also a very important thing. And next one is how VA solutions, okay, us, how we can help it, help you in, implementing these technologies, and help you learn this, technology, so that it could help you, possibly help you in your career opportunities. So that's what is going to be the agenda and scope of today's work. And let's just talk about the cutting edge technologies in today's industry. So there are many technologies, okay, in many industry fields, okay, which requires much attention, and which are gaining much attention and traction, so that it could help in implementing their applications, and and offer make their product a success. So in today's world, connectivity is becoming very important. Okay, so connectivity means every device has to be connected with this. Okay, so meaning our one device, okay, is going to be connected with multiple devices surrounding it. So with one device, we should be able to control the other devices. Okay, so that is not only with respect to commercial or residential purpose. The same happens in industry as well. In industry also, we require everything to be connected, so that we could monitor the, the aspects of the industrial, parameters which we need to monitor, and control them from anywhere over the world. So today's world is very globalized. Okay, so it's not like not only in one place we're going to have the industry. Okay, possibly our industry could be spanning across the whole globe, and there should be a way where how we can monitor these, factories and the manufacturing plants from anywhere over the world. Okay, minimal, effort, and not only is it monitoring. Okay, so there are lots of decisions being made. Okay, and some decisions need not require human attention every time. So, in order to simplify the human attention, okay, instead of having the human attend every each and every aspects, we need to have a computer program make those decisions for this. So, we need to make our computers think. So, considering these things, okay, we need to see about what are the technologies which makes it possible. Like, there are several other factors and several other technologies, okay, which are currently trending. But we're going to specifically focus on technologies which concerns us engineers, not programmers mostly. Okay, but engineers as the majority. Okay, but programmers are also engineers. They also need to know about what are the technologies which factor in today's world. So the first and foremost technology is IIoT, and that is I mean most of the people know IoT. Okay, but the next I is going to be industrial internet of things, industry. Okay, the internet of things which is used in the industry. Okay, that industry could be, it's not an industry which is focused on commercial or residential aspects. Okay, which is not in personal, it's not going to interfere with the personal life. Okay, but it's going to be fully in manufacturing, production environments, or it could be in delivery environments, something like that. Okay, it's totally industrial setting. So industrial internet of things is the one of the trending technologies which needs to be focused more on, and it is currently being focused, and it has been like that since few years. Right, so when many innovative things are coming up, okay, in this space, and it is continuing to grow because now the connectivity has become so wide. Okay, I mean compared to last decade to now, okay, the number of devices which is available in human beings is has rapidly evolved. So we should be able to make this connection much more intuitive, and not only should it be used in personal lives, but also we have to make use of this connectivity in our work environment as well. So that is made possible by IoT. Then the ability of the computer to think. Okay, so how is it going to be done? Yes, so we all know that AI has been making ripples across today's world, and it has been making that for a very long time, but it has gained traction because of the development of sophisticated machines. Our machines have become so you know sophisticated, and has become so advanced than what we could consider a decade ago. Okay, because the processor technology has improved, and there's something called Moore's law. Okay, Moore's law says that the amount of transistor double every 5 years or so, right? So it doubled so much that now the iPhone or whatever Android device you have in your hand, okay, it is far, far, far powerful than the supercomputers which is 20 years ago. So you're basically carrying a supercomputer in your hand, okay, which would mean a computer in hand, which would be considered a supercomputer 20 years ago. So your cell phone has become so powerful, okay, so powerful in fact that it could be considered a supercomputer decades ago. And if that's powerful, okay, then it should be able to do some sort of intelligence. And believe me, it is doing intelligence. Okay, I'm sure you are seeing a lot of products in market that it says it has AI based technology in it. Okay, ranging from AI based camera, AI based battery, okay, and several AI based algorithms inside, like AI based filters. You must be seeing a lot of those things in as a product, as an application in your mobile phones, right? So AI has been not only growing in these fields, okay, but it has been like it's stretching across the verticals as well. Okay, several verticals. Okay, so we are going to see about what are the recent trends which have appeared. And next is the space of electrical vehicles. So I'm sure everyone would be knowing, I know several companies have popped up, and only one company was first focused on this electrical vehicle, and other companies which was mostly focused on internal combustion engines. Okay, they were mostly saying, okay, this will never this will surely fail because people will most probably prefer only the based vehicle or diesel based vehicle, and this will they said that electrical vehicles will never lift off. Okay, but ultimately, you know what happened, that um, the company called Tesla has gone far and wide. They made a lot of innovation in their technology, and you could see that electrical vehicles have become massive success. So much success, in fact, that these producers of internal combustion engines, okay, I mean the producers of internal combustion engine based vehicles, okay, vehicle manufacturers, they shifted to electrical vehicles. Okay, so a lot of factors, contributed to it. Okay, the global warming, melting of ice caps, that was again due to the global warming, and air pollution, and noise pollution, and the effects of the bodily effects, that is the cause of cancer and other health effects, which were no due to these global warming and other things. Okay, that attributed to the development of electrical vehicle, which could not totally eliminate this effects of global warming and such, but at least reduce the amount of the effects which is caused by this global warming and other factors, right? So, but anyway, people are moving towards more greener way, greener technology. Okay, that is also driving towards this electrical vehicle and other things. Okay, so these are the cutting edge technologies. Okay, which in fact influence. So, what else has been trending? Aerospace and defense. Okay, I'm sure that everyone must be watching nowadays. It's not like only people watch India based news. Okay, that nowadays the news has become so globalized that we get news from each and every corner of the globe. Okay, and I'm sure everyone will be knowing about lot of things which are happening in this space of aerospace and defense. Okay, so but anyway, we'll just reiterate it so that we'll be learning about it in a few minutes. And this is for people who are not aware of this IIoT. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it. Okay, that is most of the people. I'm very sure that the Internet of Things have been exposed, but people will be more specific towards. Okay, I know that Internet of Things is used in day to day life. Okay, but is it really used in industrial settings, and is it work used in work settings? So that question might pop up. And to answer the question, yes, industrial Internet of Things is actually, a technology which is currently being focused so much, okay, in order to particularly increase the, efficiency of the work which is being done. So instead of setting up monitoring stations, okay, in different places around the world, we need to make a system which is going to make us monitor from single place, so that we can monitor everything which is happening around the world. So in order to do that, we already saw that the Internet of Things has such a success in commercial space, it is residential space. We were able to monitor and control things from anywhere around the world. Okay, and the same thing was applied to industry as well. So when you say industry, the thing is going to be predominantly the one which is going to help us in production. Okay, it could be a conveyor belt, or this is, let's say, if it's a production environment, okay, manufacturing technology, conveyor belt is going to be a thing. Okay, and the machine is going to produce, that's going to be a smart machine. Okay, that's going to be a thing. And if you think about it, the city is also like an industry only. So smart city is also a thing. And the production of power, okay, energy. So energy production, we need to control how much energy is going to be generated, and how much is going to be transmitted, and how much is going to be distributed. So considering all this thing, this is an industry. The power industry is an industry. So smart grid. Okay, so that is also going to be contributed to, made possible by using Internet of Things. So we need to be able to acquire data from anywhere over the world and process it in a single location, so that the data will be centralized and will have the entire perspective, right? So IIoT is a game changer. So in order to give a difference between IoT and IIoT, because most of the people will be like, okay, both of them look similar. So both of them is in fact similar. Okay, the common thing here is, common denominator here is Internet of Things. Okay, but the place where it is used is one which is going to influence. Okay, so if you see consumer internet of things, which is mostly found with people and at their homes or at places where they use. Okay, so that's going to be with respect to in smartphones. Okay, wearable technologies, which is going to monitor the effects of your body, or give you constant updates. As to instead of picking up your phone, you can just look at, you can control the things from your watch, or you can monitor the parameters of your body, like how much sweat you're perspiring, or how much heartbeat is it going to give, ECG signals potentially. Okay, so plenty of opportunities are available in that space. And smart TV, smart appliances basically, right? And smart home, you can basically automate your home from anywhere over the world. So even before you reach from your college or anywhere, the place of your work, to your home, okay, you could expect that your air conditioner could be switched on. So that is made possible by using IoT. Okay, by adding some intelligence to your system, to your appliances. Okay, so instead of focusing these things only on consumer based, they decided that this could be used in industry as well. There are plenty of use cases. Okay, so instead of having the factory monitored by only people, okay, so basically you can implement a smart factory which is going to be monitored by the sensors, intelligent beings, okay, which is going to be centralized. Data is going to be centralized. Okay, instead of relying on um, you know I mean, I'm not going to say trust, not non-trusty people. Okay, but humans tend to make a lot of mistakes because that's what makes it human. Okay, so we tend to get these updates from machines, which is going to constantly update over a continuous period, in a periodic manner. Okay, and when it needs to be updated, it will be updated. Okay, and the control of grid, smart grid. Okay, grid is basically, when I say grid, it's going to be power grid, power lines. Okay, so instead of relying on the fault handling, fault tolerance, those things by a human being. Okay, so this could be done by a human, intelligent system. Okay, so instead of relying on human beings to check for fault, okay, which is not only, I'm saying, it's not trusty, okay, and it's also dangerous as well. So this uh, maintenance of a very dangerous equipments could be done by machines. Okay, so we could prevent loss of life, right? So smart machines, smart city, cars. Okay, so those things could be done by, instead of using human beings to do it. Okay, we could potentially make use of computers or smart machines. Right. So basically, the IoT started out as a revolution. Okay. So instead of only fixing it only for consumers, they made an evolution. Okay, IIoT is just an evolution. So this is being done for a decade or so longer than that. Okay, but what is the current trend? Okay, so where is it right now? It's finding its application areas nowadays. So a lot of things have changed. Like if you see that communication technologies, like due to the amount of data which is being transmitted by these devices, okay, the IIoT has paved way to implementation of far more faster techno protocols, technologies. Like nowadays, if you see that due to the sheer number of devices being connected, okay, we needed to go from something which is much more faster, much more reliable, okay, and much more far wide available. So we came up with 5G technologies, okay, which offered unprecedented speed. Okay, we were able to get far faster, technology speeds. Okay, which makes the communication not only reliable, not only faster, but also instant. Okay, so when you press the send button or start button, okay, it's immediately going to go to the place where you want it. It's going to be real time. Okay, then next, due to the rising industrial automation. So, in order to make the manufacturing much more, reliable, and not only reliable, much more, safer to human beings. Okay, so we made use of this smart machines, okay, which are able to do this manufacturing process. And not only is it going to do the industrial automation, so we could potentially duplicate this industrial automation and synchronize it not only in one place. the same thing could be manufactured from anywhere over the world. Okay, so you will have multiple plants running at the real time at the same time in multiple places. The plant could be at, let's say Bangalore, one location, and it could be at Manila, Philippines. Okay, maybe in Kyoto, Japan, and also let's say in Maryland, United States. So all these things will be manufactured at the same time, at the same instant, at a given amount of time, and this could be monitored from anywhere over the world. Okay, so basically this was done by using IIoT because these machines are connected to internet, connected to the world wide web. Okay, maybe to a much more encrypted and much more safer way, so that only the manufacturer can see it. So due to the rising industrial automation, IoT is now growing in strength. And not only is it IoT growing, okay, the things like security is also being implemented, because previously security was not given that much um, you know importance. But the thing was, people started seeing some hacks happening in IoT systems, like connect internet, printers connected to internet were able to print things. Okay, hackers was able to access, printers in office spaces, and they were able to make nefarious printings. Okay, so security was put first now. Okay, so that not everyone should be able to access that. Okay, and of course, so when you build something, people are going to build something that's going to battle it. So it's going to be a constant battle, but it is also nowadays kept in check. So that is one thing. Okay, then remote monitoring and operations. So when you have this, industrial automation, um, it's quite possible that remote monitoring and operations should also be, happening. So like when you say remote monitoring, people will be like in manufacturing plants. That's not the only thing. Okay, so everywhere. Okay, so new remote monitoring will be with respect to, let's say you have a renewable energy power plant, so which needs to be monitored and controlled. So it's also going to be remote monitoring. And this renewable energy, this solar panel based power plant need not be in a habitable location. Okay, it need not be in a place where human beings are there. Okay, it could be a remote location with minimal human intervention. Okay, maybe in the center of Sahara Desert. But constant monitoring is important. Okay, for the success. So let's say if something is going to fail, we need to make some sort of maintenance. So that is going to be made by human being at the end of the day, or a robot. It is operated by human being. So this remote monitoring and operating is made possible by IIoT, right? So IIoT is making waves across the industry. Okay, and every industry, every company could think of is considering to implement this IIoT into their work system. Okay, to name a few, we have Airbus, Boeing. Okay, so several companies, right? So I'm just naming a few, but they are considering, they have already implemented these things into their workspace. So that's about IIoT. Okay, so when you have something which is capable of monitoring, okay, in remote place, we should also have a system which collects this data, okay, which is collected from many places over the world, okay, and bring it. It's not going to be one data or two data. It's going to be millions of points of data, and you don't really store this data and keep it just for the sake of keeping it, because when you have a lot of data, what you can do is you can make predictions, and these predictions could be basically to predict what is going to be happening in the future. What is the thing which you can make from this data? We should be able to predict it, right? So when you have millions of data in your hand, one thing we can do is we can make use of some algorithms which can make use of, which can predict what could be the outcome in a few more days. Okay, based on that. So let's say you have mission. Okay, I'm not going to say it can predict future as what is going to happen. Okay, that's not really possible. Okay, even though some people say it's possible, that's like it's a gray area. We don't really say it's 50-50. Okay, but what I mean to say is, let's say a mission. Okay, and we collect data by using this IIoT system. Okay, we continuously monitor it, and just monitoring it is not going to make any sense. We should be able to predict, let's say, when that mission is going to fail, and when can we expect maintenance to be happening, and when should we switch it off, and do we need to switch it off right now? So these type of things should be able to be predicted. Okay, and that's not like every 2 months we should switch off or switch on. Okay, so depending on the usage, we should be able to predict it. Okay, maybe in summer the usage will be high, and maybe during the winter the usage will be low, and during the spring and autumn the usage will be low. So something like that, right? So depending on the usage, your wear and tear will be different, right? So you should be able to make such sort of predictions. And what makes it possible? Yes, AI. Okay, so AI or artificial intelligence, okay, has made it possible to make the predictions. Okay, so it's not like I have to teach what AI is. Okay, so several sources of information about AI is available to you. Okay, you know better than me, I'm sure. And several movies, okay, over a period of time. Okay, it's not like say, the last decade or so. Okay, the movies with respect to AI you know has been playing around for century. I mean, a century or so. Okay, so many books have been there. Okay, teaching on artificial intelligence, right? But now AI has been, made possible because previously computer, computer capability was very less. Okay, algorithms were very heavy. Only supercomputers were able to do it. Okay, but now even your smartphone is capable of processing AI algorithms within a fraction of seconds. That's how our computers have evolved. And there are many misconceptions as to what AI is because people think when they see AI, okay, people will start thinking about movies like iRobot or movies which make robots that is able to think or that is able to emotionally bond. And I say right now, such are only within a scope of science fiction. Okay, people have never, as of now, as of this speech, okay, we really haven't synthesized emotions and the ability to think on its own. What exactly is AI is basically is it's going to mimic human behavior. Okay, it's a computer program, okay, written by human beings, of course, which is going to mimic the human decision making aspects. Okay, so human behavior, like, well, let's say we see a paper and we say, okay, so these are the characters which are available. So instead of us reading it, we are going to teach the computer make sense of this data, and we are going to make help us make it help decisions. Okay, instead of us making decisions, you're going to make use of this programs, computer smart enough programs, which is going to make decisions for us, right? So that's what is AI. Okay, so there's one more set of um, you know set of behavior called as general intelligence. Okay, so AGI, or also called as artificial general intelligence. Okay, that's what deals with implementing human emotions or human critical thinking. Okay, intelligent thinking. Okay, coming up with its own ideas. Those things have been, a subject of AGI, and it's still in infancy stage. No one has succeeded in implementing it in full way. Okay, apart from graphical, I mean, that is CGI makers, computer graphics, or animated movies, which has made it possible. Of course, it's still in infancy stage. So when we talk about AI, people get really excited, but we are here to simplify it. So AI is basically set of algorithms, okay, which is going to implement this identification and modification of human decision making skills. Okay, it's going to get a lot of data. It's going to apply some sort of statistics. Okay, and it's going to give us probabilities. That's it. Okay, it's not going to think on its own. It's not going to make decisions on its own. Critical thinking, no. Okay, so AI is going to be made possible by several algorithms, and those algorithms, depending on the the sophistication and the level of requirements, level of hardware requirements. Okay, it's going to be classified. So in order to implement this AI, okay, we are going to use a term called as machine learning. Okay, we are going to teach our computer with some rules. Okay, we're going to teach rules as to how this data is going to be. And if you look similar data, okay, you're going to say, okay, this looks something similar to this. So we are going to teach our computer to identify the subset of data. This data could be how a traffic light looks like, or how a human being looks like, or how dog looks like, or how cat looks like. Okay, so we feed our machine learning, okay, we feed our algorithms with this data in a hope that, let's say tomorrow, if same data, new data is fed to it, okay, it is going to refer back to this memory. Okay, for human beings we have brain to make this memory, but for computers we have hard disk. Okay, it's going to refer the hard disk and it's going to make this classification. Okay, so we call these algorithms, intelligent algorithms, as machine learning, right? So machine learning, for if I'm not for work for it, okay, it's going to make use of this machine learning algorithms. Okay, but the thing is we need to teach it in the first place. We have other set of algorithms called as deep learning, okay, which is a subset of machine learning which derived from this machine learning, but it's much more sophisticated than that. Okay, it's going to teach itself, okay, by some sophisticated algorithms, okay, which is basically you know a partial implementation of human brain. Okay, not exactly human brain, human neurons. Okay, so the way the human neurons work, that algorithm has been implemented inside. Okay, that's why we call it as neural network. Okay, so and we help it, we feed it with data, and that's going to teach itself how this data is and what is the pattern with respect to the data, right? So that's going to automatically happen inside. And not do that, we make use of deep learning, which makes use of certain algorithms like neural networks. Okay, basically it's a implementation of computer implementation of a human neuron, and it's not going to use one neuron and two neurons. Okay, it's going to use a convolution of those neurons. Okay, multiple neurons together. So it's going to work the same way how your neurons work together. It's going to combine together. It's going to pass data within each other. And our human brain is full of neurons, right? So this is going to happen inside your machine learning algorithm. Okay, we feed it with data, and it's going to compare with the learned process, and it's going to get the output. Deep learning, on the other hand, okay, it's going to emulate the human neurons. It's going to form these things called neural network, and it's going to give you the output. So where is AI going to play a role, right? So in an industry, okay, if you see, AI has been playing multiple ways, okay, right? Like AI in your general work, general usage, let's say in the Instagram or Facebook or in many other commonly used applications. Okay, similar way, we use AI in our industry day-to-day life as well. Okay, so predominantly for two things. One is for classification of the objects. Okay, we need to teach our algorithms, and we need to teach our algorithms to identify a set of data vehicle. This data could be a picture, this data could be a voice. Okay, this data could be again a scan of the human, body. Okay, or this data could be, a road view. This could data could be anything. Okay, and when we get this classified data, we may need to do some sort of process control. Okay, so that's the second thing why AI is being used for, right? So AI could be used for image labeling. When I say image labeling, when you have a picture and you need to say, when you want to identify a part of the image and say what exactly we are looking at. So we human beings have been trained to do that from childhood, but we need to make use of computer algorithm. For a computer, it needs to have that intelligence. Okay, it needs to have a set of algorithms which is going to make it use. So we are going to we need to train our computers to identify what type of item it is saying. Okay, it's not going to happen automatically. So we need to add some intelligence. So one stuff is image labeling, and it has been making ripples in healthcare. So make the job of the doctors much simpler. So it's going to help us scan what medical conditions are present in the image. So a doctor may or may not miss some important aspects like very small details. Okay, but you can teach the AI to identify it and make it possible for us to diagnose it. It's not going to replace the doctors, don't worry. Okay, your doctors, you're going to see the human doctors for several more years to come. I'm not saying we are going to replace it, but it's going to act as a helping hand for doctors. And in signal analysis, okay, so when you have someone speak, okay, when you say okay Google or hey Siri, okay, so your cell phones are able to pick that signal, and it's going to identify only that words, and it's going to make some process. So when you say, okay, Google, your cell phone is going to get activated. How is it possible? There's some intelligent algorithm at play here. Again, or for direction of objects, when you have a automated car, okay, so you should be able to identify whether the car is in front or whether it's going a straight line, okay, whether there's a turns happening, you name it. And when there is a turn indeed, okay, you need to be able to control your motors to go left, okay, steering. So this cannot be done very simply, okay, so there should be an algorithm behind it if it's an automated control. Or in case of power lines, okay, so we want to be able to detect the faults occurring, okay, everywhere over the world, several types of faults occur every day. So how do we detect in real time, and how do we identify what type of fault it is, and how to make corrective measures to prevent it from happening? So these are the applications where AI is being used and current recent trends. Okay, so in healthcare, in order to assist the doctors and nurses, in order to offer better, services to the patients, okay, in order to make the patients um, comfortable. So AI has been playing a vital role. And right now we have already seen a lot of examples and autonomous vehicles, okay, where the vehicle is going to automatically drive. You just point as to what location we have to go, it's going to automatically drive us to that location. So AI is playing a vital role in that. And nowadays, our computer systems have become so fast, in fact, that previously AI systems were running in supercomputers, but now AI is running in our chip, which is embedded in our cell phones. Okay, so we have gone far ahead in terms of the processing speed, and I'm sure we will continue to evolve. We'll be able to do much more processing speed. Now, today's computer will be a play toy for the supercomputer will be a play toy for in next coming generations, maybe. And electrical vehicles. Okay, I'm sure electrical vehicles, everyone knows about what electrical vehicles is. Okay, so basically the way instead of using an internal combustion engine, we make use of electrical vehicles to propel it forward. Okay, it's totally powered by electrical vehicles. And recent trends show that the electrical vehicle trend is not going to decrease. Okay, they are only offering much more incentives to offer people to move from internal combustion engines to normal vehicles. Okay, when there is electrical vehicles. Okay, and the transition is happening at a very fast rate. Okay, you can see that the EV market has increased 43.13% from 2019, and it's continued to evolve until 2030. And in order to support that, your charging infrastructure, okay, electrical vehicles, not to charge them, charging infrastructure market is also growing. And in order to facilitate this battery market, battery for the electrical vehicles, okay, it's very important from a electrical vehicle. We need to have battery. So the battery market has also improved, and it will continue to improve at 60% rate. And this is not coming from my mouth. Okay, this is coming from Bureau of Industry, Indian Standards, BIS. Okay, so which conducted research, and it says this. And the last cutting edge technology, okay, which is very important, is in aerospace and defense. Okay, aerospace has been growing at a tremendous rate. It has been growing at commercial space. Okay, it has been growing at defense space. Okay, jets, and moreover rockets. Okay, we see a rise of private launches happening. Okay, previously it was only governments which was launching. Okay, like decades ago. NASA, ISRO, okay, so JAXA. So these were the governmental organizations. But now you see companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, okay, now Richard Branson, Virgin Galactic, okay, they were able to launch vehicles, okay, due to a reduction in you know rules surrounding it. So even private companies have started launching. So current trends is space tourism. Okay, so which means anyone can go to space if they have if they can book a ticket. And now the space tourism is restricted to billionaires, but in the coming age, due to evolution of the technology and cost reduction, okay, we will continue to see the reduction in price, and even normal people will be able to um, afford it. But due to the that will only come down only if the talent is available. Okay, the people who can make sense of how to design a rocket, how to build a rocket, how to test a rocket, how to make the rocket more reliable. So those things must be considered. And we saw the two billionaires this year they went to space. Okay, they came back again in one piece, and that was because someone who designed the rocket made it much more reliable, and they tested it continuously. It was not done in a matter of days. Okay, it was planned for years. Okay, the first one was I believe a guy called Richard Branson. Okay, he is the owner of Virgin Group. Okay, so he's an entrepreneur. Okay, he carried some people to the space. And next one is followed by Jeff Bezos. Everyone knows Jeff Bezos. I don't need to give an introduction about him. He's the owner of Amazon. Okay, so he also his company is Blue Origin. He launched, he went to space and again came back, and it's his vehicle. And of course, India is also going to no, it's not going to space tourism, but the government is spending lots of money in order to move towards manned missions. Okay, previously it was only related to launches of the unmanned vehicles and rovers and stuff. Okay, but now we made sure that we are also going towards the manned mission, Gaganyaan mission. Okay, to put man on space. Okay, so that is on our portfolio. So that is with respect to the current trends. But which companies all work in this, apart from governmental organizations, of course? What are the companies which are making significant strides and continuous innovation in these fields? So these are some of the companies to name a few. Okay, so we have companies like Microsoft, Nokia, ExxonMobil, Siemens. Okay, I don't need to explain about what are the companies and what do they do. Okay, but these are the some of the handpicked companies like NASA, Ford, Boeing. Okay, so they make use of this technologies. Okay, so they were either doing it, okay, they are still doing it, okay, they're continuing to evolve it at a much larger pace. Okay, so and of course, other companies like this is a new list of companies like Tesla, SpaceX, Xilinx, Texas Instruments, Honeywell, Siemens, Qualcomm. Okay, so they are continuing to make continuous efforts to improve the technology. So when they improve the technology, they can offer much more, so the level of service to human beings who are ultimately they are the user of these tools. Okay, which is to make the job of the human beings much more simple. So how does VA solution help in catering for learning of the skills, essential skills required by these companies? Okay, how can we offer you these solutions? So we are offering some industrial programs, okay, industrial internship programs, okay, so which helps in learning the tools, techniques, and frameworks in implementing the systems. Okay, so the first track is the you know internship on IoT, machine learning, and deep learning. Um, an industrial internet of things and machine learning and deep learning implementation using a technology, okay, very specific technology. And these technologies have been used far and wide over the globe by several different companies. Okay, and the batch starts from 17th August. The key focus of this is to know the tool which is being used. Okay, then the set of not only software, okay, we'll be focusing on hardware and also how to make use of this hardware and software uh, technology to implement IoT, machine learning, and deep learning using this, software and hardware systems. Okay, so it will be a full package, right? So you'll be learning from the software until the application development. Okay, so first batch starts. It's not first batch. We have been doing for several months. Okay, and up until we'll be continuing to do it. And the next one scheduled to start is at 17th August, right? So the details are here. and we also know where whom to contact available over here. Okay, and we can see the program details, okay, which will be explaining in a better manner. And the next one is with respect to electrical vehicle converter design and grid power quality analysis. Okay, so this is going to be contrast to what we saw. Okay, the previous one with respect to IoT, machine and deep learning. Okay, but if your focus is more towards electrical vehicle, grid design, renewable energy. Okay, so we have one more track called as this one. Okay, this focus is only about the same tools. Okay, the tools is not going to change, but the perspective which we are going to use the tools. Okay, so instead of using for industrial Internet of Things, okay, we're going to see how we can make use of the system, same tools to implement electrical vehicle systems, okay, or to implement renewable energy. Okay, so this batch is going to start on 16th, and it's going to have the same pattern, but the tools and the technology and the topics which we learn is going to be different. Okay, the batch starts from 16th. Okay, and as to the program details, there are several tracks which are available. Okay, and of course it's with respect to your convenience. So here are the details. Okay, we have three options. Okay, the first option is week 5 weeks program, the same the last two things which we discussed, the both of them. Okay, has three options. Okay, either you can go for a 5 week program, okay, which will not have a mini project at the end. Okay, it will have 1 point, okay, and 5 days a week. Okay, you'll be learning the tools, hardware, hardware skills which is required, as well as the toolkits which are involved, and you'll be shared the materials, for you to prepare for the further, for further, if you want to proceed for your career or for a project implementation, you'll have this sufficient materials for you. Okay, but you have other option, okay, where it's going to be 4 weeks, and you could also potentially do a mini project. Not potentially, you will do a mini project, okay, along with 3 to 4 people in the group. Okay, and the session will be 2 hours per day, and you'll be focused on the same tools. Okay, and you'll be focused on the machine learning, deep learning, or if it's electrical vehicle, you'll be focused on electrical vehicle, renewable energy. Okay, and you'll be given the same materials, right? And there is a different price point here. So since project is involved, and we should be able to support you in implementing that project. Okay, so we'll be having a separate 2 hours per day instead of 1.5 hours per day. We'll be having 2 hours per day. And there's a third option. Some people will be like, I don't want a group of people in my project. Maybe I need to do this, since it's a mini project associated with the internship, I should be able to do it individually. So the same thing which occurs, okay, but you'll be given an individual project, okay, and we'll be supporting you for implementing that project, and it comes at a different price point. Okay, so both of the tiers of internship comes with different options, and of course it is with respect to your convenience and requirements. So I guess this gives you a light on how machine learning, deep learning, electrical vehicles, aerospace and engineering plays a vital role in today's society, as well as to upliftment of human technology. Thereby human comfort is being increased. Okay, and how we as a company are providing our solutions to students as well as the academics, researchers, to learn to implement this solution so that they can provide their solutions to the society as a whole. So thank you everyone. So it has been a wonderful session, I hope. So I hope you learned something, as well as I also had an immense pleasure on explaining to you how these systems have been, how these tools have been, offering their insights. So if you have any further queries, okay, feel free to contact us on, we have these two email IDs. Okay, we have vasonlineindia@gmail.com and support@vsolutions.org. Or if you want to have a conversation, okay, you also have this number. Okay, so feel free to contact it and get your doubts clarified. So I wish you all the best. Okay, so further stuff. And I hope we meet soon. And thank you very much. Have a great day. We'll see you in the future. So before that, let me just see if anyone has any questions. Let's check an address. So no one has any questions. Okay. So if you have any questions, I'm sure you can contact us through the given link. Okay, but right now we'll just subside.